Hello, welcome back to the American Doofus Show. I'm Barry Walsh, your host, and we're going to have our first guest of the show, and he's Mr. John Bartlett. John, are you there?
I am here.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in, coming on. We're going to talk about COVID-19, and we're going to talk about some different perspectives that maybe people don't think about. John, you put a post up on Facebook that just really touched me personally, and your post came about because you tested positive. You tested positive.
I tested positive. We found out it would have been Monday. We tested on Friday.
Okay.
Of last week, so it's been a week of a lot of different emotions. Yeah, a lot of different emotions.
Okay. Before we get into that, I got to clear up something. I had a brief show up last night talking about what went on in Greenfield Central High School or Greenfield Central Junior High, and how a kid tested positive at the school, and I was concerned how that test came about, since it took eight days for my test to come back. It took a couple of days the first time, 8 days the second time. The kid was sent to school with he'd been tested for COVID, and the results had not come back in yet, and they went ahead and sent him to school. That's how that happened. That's how that positive test happened. And I was just appalled that parents would do that. But then again, parents sometimes don't have a lot of options, especially if they don't have a lot of resources.
Well, and not just that, but I'm kind of shocked right now. I happen to be very fortunate in that I live in Hartford City, and I work down in Indianapolis. I work in IT for a manufacturer of security devices in Indianapolis, and our company is very serious about COVID-19, and we. As soon as I tested, or actually, no, I'll take that back. As soon as someone else in my household tested, I'm quarantined.
Okay.
And then when they come back positive, then they require me to get tested, and depending upon my test results, I then am required to quarantine until I have my results, and then 2 weeks, and then there are a lot of other things that are happen there at the building where I am, and with other people and people I've been in contact with. We're currently only at 20% in the building, 20% of people in the building. Masks are required, and all these sorts of things are very, very serious. So I happen to be fortunate to work for a company like that. Other people are not.
Right.
Other people, they still call them in, waiting on test results, and then, we don't know who all has been exposed in that period of time when people are still going to work after they've tested. So
how are you feeling, John? I don't want to neglect.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing quite well. I will say this: all of my family has now tested positive. And we seem to have a strain that has been less on the symptomatic, less severe with the symptoms.
Good.
And I think we're on the downside of the disease. I think we're getting past it.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. you were yeah, you're still the chair of the Blackford County Democratic Party. Is that correct?
I am. Yes.
Okay. All right. And you said when we've talked, you said that you've got some ideas, you've got some thoughts, some insight about how we can turn this possibly a little more positive. Learn some things.
Well, okay, so out of this, starting way back in March, when we started quarantining and we did the shutdown, and our company had a lot of people working from home.
Okay.
And like our design engineers and things like that, customer service and technical services and things like that, they started working from home. Everybody has laptops, and so they go home and they work.
Right.
Well, out of that, I've been thinking about, a lot of people I work with are from here. They're not from Indy. They're not from the Indy metro area originally. They're from here.
The surrounding rural. For those that don't know, because we're on YouTube, so people all over the world are watching. When you say here, we're talking about what would be described as the more rural. I always struggle with that word.
Yes.
The more rural counties in Indiana, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Rural Indiana is, and Blackford County, for those who don't know, it's a very small county geographically and population-wise.
Right.
We currently have about 12,000 people that live in the county, just under 12,000 people. The county is 10 miles by 10 miles square, so it's a very small county. We've lost a lot of industry since 1980.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost a quarter of our population since 1980. And I mean, a lot of the things here in the county are not economically sound.
Right.
We constantly rate as one of the 5 poorest counties in the state of Indiana. So we're constantly fighting just to get jobs and everything else back to the county.
Right.
The population of the 12,000 people who live here, we only have 1 in 8, so about 12.5% of the people have college education.
Okay. So
and that contributes, and all of these things. Well, the kids that are born here, that are raised here, that can go off to college, don't come back.
right.
And that's where I was going. When I'm working with these people, I have people from Blackford County. I have people from Delaware County and Randolph County and Jay County and, all the counties surrounding us. And all these people, left the counties and went to the cities, and they now live in the Indy metro area because that's where the jobs are.
Right.
But a lot of them would love to come back here and live here because this is where their home is. This is where their families are and things. But the thing is that we can't. They can't come back here. I live out here. I'm in IT, and I have to deal with satellite internet. I have to connect back to my people and service my users using satellite internet, which, quite frankly, stinks.
Right. It's not the most reliable or most consistent.
No, it is not. And we are back to the point where we need to rebuild the infrastructure here. We need to build, I should say rebuild, we need to build an internet infrastructure out here, a reliable broadband infrastructure. If we built that in the rural areas, and Blackford County's not alone, but if we built that back out in the rural areas, people would move back because this is where they want to be. They could work remotely, and that's what COVID-19 has proven.
Very good point. Yes. Totally agree.
You don't have to have people in buildings to work. They can work from home, and we can be just as productive from home as we are in the buildings.
And
if we built that infrastructure in the counties, in the rural areas, people would move back, and businesses would move back, and
rural
you would
school,
see economic growth
right?
where there hasn't been in 40 years.
The rural schools would benefit because more people living in the counties. I mean, it's that's just the way the cycle works. Right
now, when you're talking about greenfield schools and the virus getting in there,
mm-hmm.
Well, it keeps going, and they're going to shut the schools back down and start schooling from home again.
Yeah, we've got over 900 new cases today, 19 new deaths, I believe, just here in Indiana, and it seemed like we had a pretty good hold on things, and then all of a sudden, as they open things up, as the people, I'm calling them infectors, people that refuse to wear masks. They shouldn't be coddled. They should be shamed for those decisions. And I'm calling those people infectors. And I invite everybody on the program, everybody hearing this, to do the same thing. They should be shamed for what they're doing. It's not going to stop.
That's going back to the emotions that I have felt.
Yes.
Since I have tested positive for COVID-19.
I've got a dog, John. I've got a doofus dog, of course, with the doofus show. So, and this is live, so
okay.
I apologize for the dog barking, but she does what she does. So sorry to interject there, but go ahead. Back to the emotions.
Most people I think would think that the emotions are going, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to get sick? And I don't know. I've got another week of quarantine. I don't know if I'm going to start showing more symptoms and, take it all the way to the ICU on a ventilator. I don't know.
Lord, let's hope not.
I hope not. But I don't think I am. But okay, it's a possibility. But it's not real to me. I mean, the only thing real to me right now is that I can't eat that much, and I know that I can't eat that much. And I look at the scale when I get on it in the morning, and I see I've lost another pound, and it's like, that might not be too bad. But but that's really the only thing. And I have a headache in the afternoon, and those are really the only two things I have.
Okay.
Other family members, they've lost sense of taste. They lost sense of that stuff isn't real to us at this point. I mean, the real consequences of what could happen to us because we're not experiencing them. But I have two negative emotions and one very positive emotion. The two negative ones, first of all, I was running around before I knew that my daughter had tested positive, before I knew that, I was at work, I was in stores. Now, I always mask. I always social distance. I don't go, I haven't been to a restaurant. I haven't had a haircut in, 6 months or better. I'm looking like I came out of a 60s hippie commune.
Nothing wrong with that.
But, I have obeyed the rules. And the thing is that even though I've obeyed the rules, I don't know during how many ever days it was since I got it and I was contagious, those masks and things aren't 100% effective. I don't know. I've been going through trying to trace, who did I spend time with? Who came in to have the computer worked on? Who did this?
Right.
I don't know. And I don't know who I've spread it to. Now, I can come up with some people and they've gone to get tested and things, but I don't know. So there's like a lot of guilt and worry and things about harm that I may have inflicted upon others. Am I causing other people to go through the same distress that I'm going through right now? Okay. The other negative emotion I have is that I am furious, angry with what you're calling the infectors. I live amongst them. Before the mask mandate went into effect, now I don't know since because I haven't been out, but, people were complaining complaining left and right about having to wear masks. I've gotten into discussions on Facebook, on the community pages and things with people just spreading misinformation, and I've been called names. I've been told that I have a mental illness and that I need to go get tested, and I should just turn everything over to God and trust in Jesus, and I don't need to worry about wearing a mask. And the people who are saying this, claiming God, and I put God in quotation marks in my Facebook post from the other day, because I don't think that that's exactly what I believe in a God. God and Jesus and the golden rule that they put out, that they stated, that every religion on the planet pretty much states a version of the golden rule. It's you're supposed to be treating others as you want to be treated. You don't go open a wound and go spread blood on everybody in a freaking store.
No.
And you don't do that because you don't know if you're HIV positive or positive for hepatitis or whatever. You don't know that. But even so, it's common decency not to do that.
Right.
And why is it not common decency in these people's heads to cover your face with a mask and not breathe contagious air, contagious water droplets into the air?
White privilege.
Why is that not just common sense, common decency to people?
It's white privilege.
Well, and it's I don't get it. It is white privilege. It's some kind of privilege I don't understand.
Absolutely. And
so
and
those are the two negative emotions I have.
Okay.
The positive emotion is that the people I have told, or that I told initially, and since I made that post, the number of comments, that calls, the number of instant messages and everything else that I've received, the offers of help if we needed it, it just warms me. It warms me so much. I feel, I just feel that people that I don't even know have commented and offered help. And, like right now, we live on a farm. We live on my grandparents' farm that they bought back in the 50s. We're farm people. Trust me, we've got a stocked freezer and stocked canned goods on the shelves, okay? Trust me.
That's what we do. That those of us that grew up that way, that's just what we do. It's not a pandemic thing. It's just how we've always lived.
Yeah, I've got green beans getting ready to come off the vines out there to go start canning them. So, but that's what we do, okay? I'm fine food-wise. We're fine with all these things. Appreciate it. If you want to do something to help me, spread this story.
That's what we're trying to do, John.
That's what, if you want to do something for me, tell people to stop being selfish. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Stop being selfish pricks. Start wearing the masks. Social distance. Slow this down so that you don't get it and other people don't get it. That's if you want to do something for me, do that. And
please, those of you watching this video, share this video, like this video, follow the page, follow John on his Facebook. Help spread this word. People are infectors, and they need to be stopped. They need to be marginalized, and otherwise we are not going to get this under control. Help John accomplish what John wants out of having to be infected. John's been infected. What's he want from us? He wants us to spread this word. Help us to do that, please.
Thank you, Barry. I appreciate that.
John,
let me get that out there.
Hey, I want to invite you back on the program anytime you want. Anytime you want to be on this show, you've got my number. Get a hold of me, and we'll do this again real soon. Anything you want to add here before we close up?
No, I'm just that I'm doing well. I think we're past the hump. I think our family is getting over it, and with very minimal effects.
Awesome.
So,
Well, I'm one of those. I'm one of those Christians that I'm pretty upset with what's happened to the Christian faith in America, and I'm going to wish you blessings. I'm going to be continuing to pray for you, and I'm one of those people that have a different view of Christ and a different view of God from the haters. And I'm asking blessings upon you, and I pray that nobody in the family gets any worse than they are right now. And 2 weeks from now, we hear that everybody's come out of this in your family and, of course, yourself. Love you, John. Thank you so much for being on the program.
all right, thank you, Barry.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you, folks, for watching. That was John Bartlett. John and I met several years ago in politics. I've ran for Congress. I ran against Congressman Mike Pence at the time, a guy you may have heard of. He's now the Vice President of the United States and has twisted. Well, let's just leave that for another program. Thanks for watching. We'll be back. I apologize again for Doofus Dog squeaking her favorite piggy play toy and barking when the neighbor drove past the house in his really loud car, but she does that all the time. That's part of my life, and that's part of this show. Love you all. Peace to everybody, and I'll talk to you again real soon.